shaking the trees for some business.
Yeah.
It was cool, wasn't it cool? I liked being in the field personally. I like getting out in the sunshine, getting some fresh air, visiting people. It's a good thing to do, but you know what? A lot of times you need something.
You know what the thing is that everybody's running away from the personal touch right now.
Right.
It's like nobody's doing this. I've done interviews with real estate agents, and I asked them very pointed. I've done this a million times.
Yeah.
Do you have a lender who you call preferred? Yes. Does your lender visit you at least bi-weekly or monthly on a regular basis at your office? Every real estate agent said no and never. My next question was, does your lender's competition visit your office bi-weekly or monthly? And they all said no or never. The art of going into an office and talking with a referral partner is not going away. It's gone.
Right. So if you jump on that activity,
it's an opportunity.
It's a huge opportunity, and not only that, it just feels good to do, man. It feels good to do. Look, I think the reason people are reluctant is you have nothing to say or nothing to bring. Remen will help you out. They're Flyer Paradise. They've got customizable flyers with different loan products that are all branded to you. You can show up, you can have a conversation, hand them a flyer, jump on Remen's Lender or Flyer Paradise. Click this banner you see right here, right over on your right. You may have to scroll all the way down on your mobile device to click it. Or there's a link around here somewhere, but use these flyers, man, to get in the field and get some business.
That's not just a mention for Remen. I mean, that's actually a really great strategy.
It is.
Oh, I want to show this to you. Thoughts, everybody?
Now, you know, someone's going to say they're not selling real estate. They're just acting as the seller. Yeah, true. Okay. But Zillow believes branding Zillow on a sign is a more effective way to sell the house.
Right.
You see, Zillow believes buyers will identify Zillow as the real estate brand. Oh, Zillow is on real estate signs. Not by chance. 2 years ago, we said maybe it'll take the real estate industry seeing Zillow signs up and down their street in order for them to get off their butts. I remember saying that many times. Nope, apparently not.
Apparently not. I mean, it's crazy. Again, we're coming out with something here. I don't even know what to say about that. We've said everything there is to say. Mm-hmm. This is interesting, though. I had a conversation with a loan officer.
Yeah.
And I thought this was very interesting, and I also want to get your thoughts about this. Check out this quick little video.
Greg Peckman, Hancock Mortgage. Well, you know, we provide leads, as you know, and we try helping our agents grow their business, right? And we provided these leads. We started doing this a couple of years ago, obviously with Listing Booster and with some other things that we do as well. And we gave a bunch of leads to this real estate team. We kept on hearing complaining about it. It was this, it was that, it was this or that. So we eventually took them back and, you know, put them through our own system, and we converted, you know, about 3 or 4 of them out of, I think it was like 20 or 25. And we converted them where we put these people, connected them with different agents now, and we warmed them up, talked to them, find out the basic questions. What are they looking at? Bedrooms, baths, blah, blah, blah. And then we moved them over to some other agents, and one agent got both sides of the deal. The other agent just got one side of the deal, you know. So these old leads that apparently sucked, we revived them and hand them back to the agents who actually want to do the job. So, make sense?
You know, it's funny. It's. I think loan officers and real estate agents, they've just put so much weight into leads, and if they can't instantaneously convert them off of their very first little call or whatever, they go, oh, these leads suck, or they're crappy, or whatever, and it's just not the case.
Well, you know, the whole thing is with Greg is I've known Greg for a long time, and Greg has made a killing and a living out of converting leads that, by and large, the rest of the real estate and lending community dismiss as not being good leads. And he's here to tell you, proof of concept, that there is gold in those hills over there of what we call bad leads. So this is just kind of a word to the wise. If you're not running down clients who've expressed an interest in a property, then what are you doing? Like, seriously, as a real estate agent or a lender, we know that volume is down right now. We know that prices are up. We know even though rates are down right now, that we have a smaller pie and you need a bigger piece. If you have leads, even if they are not ideal in your world, what are you doing with your time if they're not great leads? Then you call the good leads. Now, Listing Booster will generate thousands of good leads where there's a lot of gold in the hills, but it requires you to actually follow up on these with calls through systems in order to find the business. Now, here's the whole thing in real estate, guys. Understand, we said it a million times. As an agent, you are paid handsomely when you convert somebody. You know, if you're getting paid $20 a one-off, then it wouldn't be worth your time to spend a half a day trying to run down what you would otherwise call a bad lead. But if you're going to be paid $10,000 or $20,000, can you possibly think of a better thing to do? And if not, why are we not doing it? So if you want to jump on board as a real estate agent or a lender with Listing Booster to generate lists that you can actually call on to fill your day to close more transactions, we'll do it because Listing Booster has lead capture on everything and it will not break the bank. All you have to do is go to listingbooster.com and check it out. Now, according to White House officials, Trump will direct the Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Treasury Department to compile reports on the reform of government-sponsored enterprises, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
You know, GSE reform, Brian, it's kind of like building the wall.
Oh, the wall.
Yeah, too much talk. If you're going to do it, just do it. If not, can we please quit talking about it?
So, yeah, and this brings up a great point right now because the landscape of real estate and lending is constantly in flux and constantly changing. So I have an honest question that I want to ask of all of you, and please respond in kind to this. What is the most pressing issues right now that are facing the real estate and the mortgage industry? Is it GSE reform? Because we've been hearing about this forever. I mean, forever. Now, I think 5 years ago, this may have been the issue that GSE reform was necessary. But right now, guys, rates are great and loans are getting funded. The GSEs, well, they're as profitable as they've ever been. Why do we need to reform? Because of the meltdown 10 years ago? Where we've spent the last 10 years passing legislation, creating a whole new government agency, the CFPB, and building countless compliance departments with mortgage companies all across our fruited lands, all to ensure that the GSEs don't blow up again. So at this point, do we need this or do we not?
Or are RESPA violations a bigger issue?
Oh my God, just real quickly on a RESPA violation, we saw what companies like Open Door are doing, where they're claiming, at least allegedly, that they're paying money outside of the close of escrow, which is a blatant and huge disregard for RESPA. Is that not a bigger issue?
Right. I mean, the onslaught of tech companies becoming real estate companies and real estate companies colluding with or becoming mortgage companies becoming real estate companies. I mean, all this stuff. Aren't these more pressing?
Now, I mean, if we are going to have GSE reform to protect our sources of funds, then I ask of you, Frank, what was the last 10 years all about then? To protect the status quo? All for naught? Now, what I really want to get from everybody here, because this was an interesting and perplexing issue that I was pondering for the better part of this morning. What I really want to know is what you guys think the most pressing issues facing the real estate and lending community are.
That's a good question.
And yes, and I want you to share that down below because your opinions are going to be the cornerstone of our upcoming shows and the direction in which we are going to research things. Because what I'm looking at right now, Frank, is when I think of GSE reform, the idea is so we don't have another catastrophic global meltdown like we had 10 years ago. Make sense?
Sure.
Now, we have written the cleanest book of loans in the past 10 years. We're all familiar with that. We've all heard the talking points, right? Okay, so I don't think a meltdown is going to come from our 760 average credit score having Fannie Freddie flowers. I don't think that's going to be the case. However, could we be overlooking other possibilities where another housing correction or meltdown could be manufactured from the policies that we're passing right now? The lack of interest in what's going on over with RESPA right now. The agencies who are redundantly tripping over each other trying to enforce our mortgage companies, or right now, not enforcing at all. The real estate companies going into lending with the disregard for the compliance issues that the mortgage companies understand about, or vice versa. Lenders now going out and becoming real estate agents where they're funding FHA loans, which as far as I always knew was a no-no. I kind of think that these are bigger pressing issues and can become a man-made, manufactured housing meltdown in the near future. But what I want to know and what we want to know is what do you think about this? Because we need a direction for what we're going to have as our talking points in the coming weeks.
Put it all down below. Forward, share, and subscribe. We'll catch you later here at the National Real Estate Post.
Ciao, man, guys.